March is finally here. Hello fellow book nerds, welcome to my reading vlog for the GreekGodAthon. This is part 1. We're gonna read for first 15 days. Post this, however much I read, that's how much I read, and we're gonna have another one coming later in the month. But if you don't know, GreekGodAthon is a readathon co-hosting, and it's all about reading books with Greek gods. No, not with Greek gods. With Greek gods in mind. They don't have to have Greek gods in the books. Whatever, there's like a bunch of prompts. I created a whole TBR. I'm assuming you kind of know what's up. So I'm gonna just like kind of jump into the vlog. It's 1st of March now, so I have 31 books to read, 31 days to read, 7 books that I'm reading for this readathon, plus 3 that I'm just reading for this month anyway. So that's 10 books we have to get through. But I'm excited to get started, really hyped. I actually already started a book. It's called The Duchess War by Courtney Milan. So this book is a historical romance, and we follow a girl who's like a mouse. You know, she doesn't really have a flair to her. She's poor. She knows she just has to get married so that her and her aunt are okay. And then we have a duke. I think I've said enough. But the first meet cute is when he hides behind a curtain because he just smoking or something. She comes into the room, then hides behind a couch because her asshole of a fiance comes in talking about how she's a rodent that will always listen to him. So that's a meet cute right there. I love it so far. It's so good. I'm 21% into it. And I read the book 3 in this series because it's a companion series, and I love that one. And this one was already proving to have more going on for it than just the romance, you know. The other one was about like women's rights in science, in that kind of thing. And this one is talking a lot about workers and their rights to unionize. So it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it so far. I already think the main couple is really cute, and I am really excited to continue. What else? I have Death of Vivek OG. I think I'll finish that book today because that's an audiobook I have. I only have an hour left. So I'm thinking I'll pick up another audiobook, and I want to start with The Mermaid, which is a thriller about a body washed up and it's looking like a mermaid. So I'm very excited about that. I'll update you when I actually get to it. But so far, so good. It's day 2 of the readathon, 2nd of March. So I had interesting adventures yesterday. So basically all of the underground in the UK was striking, so they literally just closed all of them. I live about an hour away from city center, and I spent £88 on an Uber and then £50 the other way because we went to the theater. Was it worth it? Probably not. But I was in the Uber for an hour and a half because there was so much traffic. So I got to, you know, listen a lot of my book. That was fun. So I started The Mermaid by Tom Lowe, and oh my god, it's so bad. So this is book 11 in a series of like a detective story, and basically there's a murder. The girl's found with like a mermaid tail on. That's the mystery. The Holly Batman exposition. Like, I understand that there's 11 installments that I've not read that I should be caught up on. So this detective and his girlfriend or whatever, and the girlfriend, this was basically one sentence, just said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so sensitive. I cry all the time. I wonder if it's because of the child we lost or because you made me come for the first time. That was a real sentence that was really included. And this dialogue, I don't think I've read worse. These people do not talk like actual human beings. They're walking, talking exposition. Okay, we were interrupted. I've gone on a walk, I've gotten a coffee, and I can keep talking about how bad this book was. It's just ridiculous, and I don't understand. It's just like these vignettes. These random chapters, like there was just a random chapter, like super random chapter of this detective that's not even involved in the main mystery yet, just like going out for like grocery shopping or something, and he just so happens to get an Amber Alert, and he just so happens to see the car, and then he just so happens to go follow it, and catch a child kidnapper. Like, and that was just one chapter. It was so quick, and it was like, why? He's so cool. Oh my god. Like, I don't know. I'm confused. I'm very confused. The writing is so incredibly bad. Like, it's so bad. Every line, it's like, was designed to just cram as much information as possible. These people are just spewing recaps of previous books, and I'm not having fun. And I started reading it in the taxi, and I was like, okay, I want to DNF this book, but I'm only 7% into it, and I want to give it 1 star. But I said, if you're only that much into it in one of my videos, should probably not be rating it, but it's actually offensively bad. So I might do that. If I get to 20% and it's not gotten even tiny little bit more interesting, I'm sorry, I'm DNFing. I'm gonna start something else. I don't know what. So I'm using this book for Poseidon, Endless Ocean, read a book of water elements. The Meter, Bountiful Harvest, a book with nature on the cover. And I've not even touched on how bad the narrator was. Oh my god. It's like he's reading a grocery list. Like, I've read some really good audiobooks lately, like, for example, Death of Vivek OJ. That's such a good audiobook. Or Within These Wicked Walls. Like, those people put all of their personality into the book. And this guy's just like reading a grocery list.
We sat at a table in one corner of the tiki bar with a view of the marina. Rex Nelson and his daughter Savannah joined Winona and me for coffee, Max sitting on the floor between us. Rex was a tall, wiry man in his early 50s, face and arms tanned, leathery from years in the sun, working as a fishing guide. He looked at me. It's a hell of a sad situation, Sean. That poor girl Savannah found on the beach. I can't put it all into words. I nodded.
That wasn't even that bad. I've been wanting to read this book. It's called Monstrous Heart. This one has nature on the cover. I mean, those are seashells and stuff, and it's definitely water. So what's this book about? 14 hours. A sensational debut novel, gothic romantic gaslamp fantasy at its very best. A magical tale of intrigue on dangerous waters and a love story for the ages, perfect for the fans of V.E. Schwab and China Miéville. Ardent Beacon arrives in the salt-swept port of Vigil with a job to do, tasked with using the magic in her blood to keep the lighthouse burning. She needs to prove herself worthy of her family name and her ancestors' profession. I'm changing the book. I'm reading this instead. Like, I don't care. Like, that looks good. That looks better. But I've been interested in this one, and I love gothic novels. My first DNF in a very long time. Mermaid has 4.41 average percentage rating on Goodreads. Who's giving this book any more than 2 stars? Like, are you okay? I don't care how compelling the mystery is. If I have to listen to that man for 1 more minute, I'm gonna go crazy.
It was only when the postmaster turned to remonstrate the old man struggling to load the Siegfried's voluminous trunk that Ardent Beacon seized the moment and made her escape. She sidled behind the wheels of the automobile, the thing callously ostentatious in this wild country, and walked off with such a laboured pretense of a casual stroll that it could not be seen as anything but.
Okay, it's already written better. Also, on a happier note, I am 43% into the Duchess War, and I love it. It's so cute. I love how these books, they really talk about so much more than just the romance. To be fair, this book, it's been 43% and they kissed just now. Book 3, I'm pretty sure there was like exploration of each other's bodies at this point. Quite in-depth one. So, I don't know. Maybe this will have a different vibe. What if it's not spicy? I hope it is. But it's so good so far. And I'm flying through it. I think I can probably finish it today. It's like really good. But anyway, at least I have that. Well, hello. It's Friday, the 4th of March, so day 4 of this read-along, and I finished a book last night, and I'm just so happy. So I finished The Duchess War, and I am giving it 4 stars. I think it was really, really solid, really good romance, and it's just something I very much enjoyed. What I really like about this series is just that it's not just like a romance, not that there's anything bad with it, but it talks, you know, about like workers' rights, female rights, but in the historical concept. And I like that the author like tells you what she changed from real history, why, that kind of thing. It just shows there's a lot of research and thought that went into it. Like it's not just smart, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I really enjoyed like the complex characters and compelling storylines as well. So I really liked it. That means I have now completed the Aphrodite prompt, which was read a romance or a love story or something like that, and then Hestia, which was a heartwarming book, which this did warm my heart and it made me very happy. Angsty but happy. So that means I have 8 points because 5 from my team, 3 from the other team, nailing it. And I also have made really good progress into Monstrous Heart by McKenna. Funny enough, after I filmed that clip, I went to see some reviews, and this book has terrible ratings. And first 3 reviews I could see, I didn't really read into them too much because I didn't want to like prompt myself too much. They were all 1 or 2 stars, but I'm 43% into it. And I really like it. So this is a gothic novel, and we follow a woman. She's like she's like 27 or something. I don't remember what they call them, but she's like a special person in this world. Her blood can like sustain fires. It's the weird type of magic, and she gets assigned this post on this lantern in a very, like it's the oldest lantern or something, in this gloomy coastal town that's known for the kraken trade, and she gets assigned this post, and she's supposed to keep the flame going that's on the lantern to, like, you know, support the ships. And then her neighbor is this guy, and he's very sequestered, and he's ostracized in his community because he went to jail when he was young. And then they say he killed his whole family, and when he came back, they're saying he kidnapped this girl and forced her to marry him. So everyone sees him as this monster, but they say he's very valuable because he can hunt kraken. And so far it's a little, like, I can already see the romance, but it's interesting because the main love interest, like, he's got like a tooth, he's very buff. I don't remember if he has a beard, but first time we see him, he's in a bar fight. Like, it's very different type of love interest, not our usual flower boy Carden, you know. So I really enjoyed it, and I think it just, the atmosphere is so good, and the audiobook is very good, and that makes me think the writing is very good. No, you can tell still with audiobook if the writing is good, but I feel like sometimes a good narrator can convince me that the writing is good, and in here just everything flows. It's so nice to listen to. The worlds flow into each other, and I love this gloomy atmosphere, this town that's super like small, and people are, you know, a little close-minded and very different than where the main character came from. And it's like always raining, and it's the main love interest is a brute and all that kind of thing. Like, I really enjoy all that. The only thing where I'm curious where it's going is that the fact they have a eugenics society. So what the society do is basically tell these special people with this blood talent who they can marry, whether they can marry. They have to like dispense a special approval and all that kind of thing, because this blood talent's like super valuable, but it's been disappearing for a long time. And they're also ostracized, but like idealized at the same point. And yeah, this eugenics society, like, I don't know where that's going. I really hope we get some kind of resolution from that, because so far the main character is not, like, she acknowledges that it's impeding her life, I guess, because she can obviously marry whoever she wants, and she has to ask for permission, and she kind of like only took this assignment because she was told she'd be given like this graduate degree, whatever. And then also another thing I'm really not enjoying is there's this character who's this like important person in this town. I don't remember what he actually is, and he's a creep and a half, and he's like tried to sexually assault her multiple times, and it's clear he's a creep, and the main character acknowledges that he's a creep, but I feel like she really doesn't take it as a big deal that she got almost sexually assaulted. Like, she's like, oh yeah, well, that could have been bad. But to be fair, she did jump into the sea to get away from him and took off her clothes and was like swimming in freezing sea. She's like, I'd rather take this than him. And I was like, fair enough, sis, but at the same time, then you were so casual about it, and I'm like, So yeah, but overall I am enjoying it. I think it's well written. I think the atmosphere is really, really good, and I do enjoy a gothic novel. I am 43% in, so you know, it could all change when I get further, but so far so good, and I'm happy because I already finished a prompt. I am gonna take a little break because I want to finish Gallant by V. Schwab for a review, which should already be up, but hopefully I can read that one quickly and we can start Spindle Splintered, because I'm very excited about that one. Okay, so today, what is it? 9th of February? No, March. What day even is it? Okay, 9th of March, and I finished another book. This is I finished 5 books in March already, and we're gonna talk about them in the second vlog and add everything up, but only second book I finished for this readathon. So I finished Monstrous Heart, and I must say, I really enjoyed it. It's not my new favorite book. It was good, it was fun. I will read the sequel when it comes out on script, but I don't understand the hate for it. Like, I didn't particularly love it, but you know, the first 3 reviews I saw were 1, 2 stars. I was like, oh my god, this must be terrible, but it was really good. It had solid adventure. I mean, okay, my biggest complaint would be that the first half, oh my god, so slow. Just painfully slow. Nothing happened till 50% in. We didn't kick off the plot, really. Like, we didn't. We were hanging out, we were getting to know the atmosphere, which is cool, but at the same time, like, nothing really happened until 50% in, and I think this book could have done with some editing, like cut out bits of the first half to make this book a bit shorter, because the audiobook was like 14 hours long, which is a pretty long book. It had a good romance, it had good character development, had actually some spicy scenes, which I wasn't expecting, because I realized this is adult, not a young adult. It was 400 pages long, and the audiobook narrator did a good job. Overall, I'm really happy that I abandoned The Mermaid for this, because I think it was overall a way better time. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, which I think is alright, but that means we have completed the Poseidon prompt, which is Endless Ocean, read a book with water elements, so that's a 5 points. And then I'm getting the meter Bountiful Harvest, a book with nature on the cover. I'm getting 5 points for that, and it feels good. I'm happy. And that means we can also start a Spindle Splintered today. I am going to the gym. In half an hour, I'm going to the gym, so I have to take off this, and I want to read some of this in the meantime. Oh, those rings I was showing you, so I got promotion at work, so I decided to treat myself and got some rings, and it's so cool because they are from this company that wants to save the turtles. So all of I think some percentage of the proceeds goes to conservation efforts and all of that. And I saw them, thought they were gorgeous, and I was like, let me treat myself. There was like a sale that if you get 3 you get 20% off, and overall I am really in love with those. And I have a review coming up that I want to do, which is the girl that fell beneath the sea, and I'm like, oh my god, like a whole outfit with the beautiful ring. Like, it's gonna be so beautiful. I cannot wait. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, check it out. I'm very excited to start this one, sapphic retelling of Sleeping Beauty, and I think it's about falling through dimensions. What I didn't realize is there's Mended Mirror or something. The second book is actually a direct sequel, which I thought this was a standalone, so I'm surprised. Like Into the Spider-Verse for Disney princesses, A Spindle Splintered is a delightful mashup featuring Alix E. Harrow's trademark beautiful prose and whip-smart characters. Nice and thin? We can do this. Okay, I finished another book, A Spindle Splintered. Knocked it out in like 3 days, so shocking. What did I think of it? So basically the synopsis I told you, I think that's pretty much all you need to know, because this is so short, so you don't want to know one more. It was really cool, and I really like the themes and the message behind it, but I did find it a little bit hard to care because it's just so short. The main the sapphic romance is not the main couple as well, which I thought it was. I don't really understand why it needs to be two very expensive, very like it's 18 US dollars, 25 Canadian dollars. I think it was like 11 pounds, like ridiculous. So I'm like, why did it need to be two very expensive short novellas where it could have just been like a decent sized book? Like this is 120 pages, the next one will be 100 probably something pages. That's almost 300 pages. We could have worked with that because this book is alright. I like the themes of it. I like the writing of it, although it didn't really blow me away. Whereas I think $10,000 of January, I really love the writing of that. But yeah, it was alright. I have such a problem falling in love with very short stories. I just think it's not enough time. It's not enough development. By the time I read the second one, will I even have cared? I don't know. So it just feels a little bit anticlimactic. And I didn't think I would particularly love it because I know how I feel about short stories. But it's an offer I really like, so I wanted to give her a chance. I literally hated nothing about it. I thought it was really like a good story. It was good writing. It was just not the next best thing, you know what I mean? Which I can't really blame the book for. If you enjoy short stories, maybe you would enjoy this one. I do think it had some beautiful things to say. So maybe actually if you're a bit younger and have not maybe heard as many of those things, this would be the book for you. But I thought it was alright. I gave it 3 stars. You know, there's illustrations. They have absolutely nothing to do with the book. I mean, maybe if I now went through the book and looked at them, but it's just so many about a decapitated like jester, and I don't understand what's that got to do with the story, like at all. I think I prefer just have actual illustrations that like pertain to the book. So that's another book done. Zeus, lightning quick, read a cover book, which I changed with my Artemis power to Dionysus. Remember a prompt differently in a drunken state, so read an auto by author, so that's there. And then Apollo, let the sun shine, read a book that makes you happy. I mean, I guess I was kind of happy. I'm happy that I finally read it because I bought it, I pre-ordered it, and then didn't read it after that. Solid. This is my points. I have started another book. So I have started The Blood Scion by Deborah Fellay. So in this book, we follow a girl who lives in a country where Scions, or people with like special powers who are descendants from the Orisha gods, are prosecuted. And she is a Scion and she gets drafted into the army. She's only 15 years old, but she gets drafted to the army as a child soldier. It's just her going to the army right now. I'm only 17% in, I think. I found it really hard to focus for some reason. I don't think it's the book's fault. I think it's maybe it was just having a bit of a mad day or something. I have been reading like 2-3 days now. So far so good. I like the writing. I do think the character is extremely young, and I don't necessarily think she's acting her age, but I don't know if she needs to be that young, but at the same time it is a YA. So if you want to make your main character 15, you can. I'm curious how that's going to impact the story. I do really like learning about the world as well. I have read several books now where Orisha were the gods, and I think this author is Nigerian Canadian, if I'm not wrong. And I think the other books I read were also by Nigerian authors. So it's really cool to see this recurring mythology I'm now starting to encounter because I'm familiar with it. So it's really cool to see how each author interprets it differently and also chooses different gods to focus on. So I don't feel like I know, like none of them chose the same god to like focus on, but they were all Orisha gods. And I think that's really cool. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I have been very excited about it. I do think I mainly wanted it for the cover, but I am excited to see where it goes, and I do think it's so far pretty good. I have also started Who Fears Death by Nandi Okorafor. So this is in a that explains so much. So this is set in post-apocalyptic Africa. The world has changed many ways. In one region, there's genocides between tribes. The woman survives annihilation of her village, but she gives birth to an angry baby girl with the skin color of sand. And the fact that it's post-apocalyptic makes a lot of sense because I was really confused what time period this was set in, because we have TV, we have phones, that kind of thing, but the vibes definitely weren't modern, but this makes so much more sense. So I'm only 9% into it, so I'm looking forward to reading more. Hopefully I can finish one of these books by 15 in this vlog. Then we're gonna have another vlog, so you know, have to follow me for the vlog. Hopefully I can finish at least one, and I'm thinking it's gonna be Blood Scion because I read with my eyes quicker than with my ears. Alright, just in the nick of time, we have 10 minutes. Let's do this. I just finished Blood Scion and I am so conflicted. Okay, I really enjoyed it. It's a really good book. I found parts of it a little bit frustrating. I felt like some of it was really overwritten and I was just being told the exact same thing that I just inferred from the context. Why am I being told this again? I'm not stupid. And then other things that I felt were really important and should be a big deal were mentioned once and let go. I was like, okay, what's that about? So that was something I didn't enjoy. On to things I did enjoy. It is a brutal book, and that's both good and not good because, well, it's good, and I really, really like how brutal it is. The main character is forced to kill multiple people, taking morally grey to a whole new level. Hopefully no one will argue on this one with me whether the main character is actually morally grey. Like, come on. It's very, very dark. I mean, sexual assault's like brought up multiple times. Doesn't really happen on page, but it is, there's attempted, and it's like mentioned like really close, like shortly into the book. And it's really a dark, dark, dark book, at least I think, for a protagonist being 15 years old. And I double checked, and Goodreads says this is a YA. I don't know how accurate Goodreads is, but anyway, they say it's a YA book. Is it an issue I have? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's just the fact that the main character is 15 years old. This is a YA. But I would say this is like super dark. Like kind of reminds me of like, you know, Hunger Games, Divergent, in the sense that the main character is a soldier. It feels a little dystopian with like, you know, there being guns and it's quite modern that way. But then, you know, it's obviously not our world. So it feels very dystopian, feels very Hunger Games, feels very Divergent. And I guess in those books, the main character also had to like kill people. I feel like in this one, it was even more of an emphasis, and it felt really, really dark. And I was like, I don't really understand why the main character needs to be 15, because it feels a little like sometimes she feels quite young, like a 15-year-old, sometimes she definitely doesn't, and I was a bit conflicted there. And that brings me to another point, the romance. I mean, there was a twist at the end that could change my mind, but I don't think it will, because this book is a duology, so there's another book coming. The main character is 15, and then the love interest is, we don't know, the age was never stated, but she thinks he's maybe 2-3 years older than her. But with his life experiences, I don't know how that works, but okay. So he could be 18 and she's 15, and that to me is gross. If she was like 17, 18 and he was like 19, 20, I think it's less of a, it's gross. And I don't think it's right if she's not 18 yet. But at the same time, it's a YA fantasy. But if she's 15 and he's 18, yeah, that's gross to me. His age wasn't confirmed as far as I could tell, but that's what I thought. And I actually wanted this book to go sapphic. That was my ultimate pairing. Oh my god, it had so much potential to be sapphic, and it just wasn't. So that was a bit disappointing. But I did enjoy the female friendships in this. At first, I was like, okay, so the main character just interacts with men through the whole book, where the female characters. But we actually got a lot of good development, and I was devastated at a scene that happened a bit later in the book. So overall, I would say this book was pretty well written. I do think it could have done with some edits. Like, I don't need to be told the same thing. Like, I just feel like some authors don't believe in the reader's ability to infer information from context, and that really kind of annoyed me because this book was really long. It felt really long, at least. It was over 400 pages long, and I felt like I was reading and like, why am I reading this? I've just been told this, you tame the same, and the character just gonna kind of go on this epiphanies that I know you're having because of the context. I don't know, that bothered me a little. And again, some things I thought should have been way bigger deal than they were. It's very interesting. The storytelling is good. The story itself like had so many ups and downs and plot twists and all of that kind of thing. So I did enjoy that aspect. Overall, I would say this was 3.5 or 4. I did listen to the audiobook a little bit, and I really enjoyed that. That means we have completed 2 more prompts. So excitingly, I have completed Artemis prompt with this book, The Hand, read a highly anticipated book. So this was on my most anticipated books of 2022. And then Athena, use your head, read a book you intended to read in 2022. There you go. So that means I get 13 points, and whatever the total is, I'm gonna put it here. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. I will be continuing my journey, have 3 more books to read, and I'm excited. I'm gonna be reading Who Fears Death, Planet Barbarians 2, and Nothing by Blackened Teeth in the next vlog. So if you don't want to miss on that, I would subscribe. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really sorry how fast I'm talking just now. I have 2 minutes left. I'm going to the theater to see Mousetrap. Very exciting. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you enjoyed the video, if you could comment, like, and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!